The price has gone up. That's right. The price has gone up on all of these Toronto Raptors. A week ago, I said 5 first-round picks was the minimum for Chris Boucher. That's not enough. Bruce Brown, whatever LeBron's calling from the LA Lakers trying to pull him away, that's not enough. Masai Ujiri is looking at this core group, this crop of role players, and seeing them work around Scottie Barnes at this point, and he's saying, hey, look at the future of this organization. When we have all these guys developed around this core team, things are going to get exciting. Yes, the Hawks have been depleted. The Raptors haven't had the toughest of schedules as of late, but they did beat a Boston Celtics team, some Warriors teams, some of the top tier talent in the league. But now, folks, we'll talk about the trade stuff, the implications on the tank, the implications of the future of this organization. But really, the first thing that we do have to bring up, that we do have to address, there's a pizza party going on with the Toronto Raptors right now. Yes, right. A 3-game win streak. We're getting pizza out there all across the country. I was in Toronto this morning, flew home to catch this game, and man, does it feel good. I don't care what people are saying about the tank and this, that. Of course, this is a season where it's a rebuild. The reports, all indications indicate the Raptors do want to continue down that direction. They've already dug themselves too much of a hole to really make a big push back out there in the Eastern Conference. Now, I'd love to be wrong and win the next 40 straight games, but of course we have to dampen expectations somewhat in a season where it has been a very, roller coaster, but mostly downs over the course of this season. But the Raptors right now, we're taking the dubs as we can, because the last 3 games saw the Magic game live, got 2 W's against the Atlanta Hawks, and of course before that beating the Golden State Warriors, the Boston Celtics. The Raptors have been playing very, very well as of late, and of course this is big implications not only on just the future of this organization, because we see how this team looks, because we know our top guys, Scottie Barnes and RJ Barrett, they're going to be able to produce, going to be able to do things. Nice to see RJ have a big road game as well, 24 points, 23 points apiece for 2 of them. Of course, they're rocking out, playing well, excited about their performances. But when the role players are playing well, when we actually have some production in different areas, and of course this season's been even tougher to get that on a consistent basis given the amount of injuries that have been sustained to guys like Bruce Brown, Kelly Olynyk, who were out of the lineup for a big chunk of the start of the season. It was tough to really rack up wins early on. The team looked pretty desperate, pretty bad, at the start of the season. But, you're seeing Chris Boucher, in this game end up having, what? In this one is his stats. There we go. 23 points in this game, 5 rebounds, 1 block. You have Bruce Brown coming out, 8 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. No Kelly Olynyk in this game, but, the 2 main trade chips, they are looking very, very solid. And I know I said this again on the other day, right? Chris Boucher, his trade value. There's rumors about the Raptors interested in extending him, and I wouldn't even be that disappointed. Again, if the haul is there and the Raptors have a big deal on the table, just given timeline, direction, all that type of stuff, you, of course, just have to do what makes the most sense for your team, for your organization. But I would not be disappointed at all if Masai Ujiri did come to a contract extension with Chris Boucher for the future. Of course, again, this season's still predominant around rebuild. I'm still in the boat of it'll be better long-term for this organization to at least be in the mix for Cooper Flag rather than be out there in the play-in race. Of course, that hasn't changed. My script hasn't been flipped just over this past week of basketball after, suffering through that whole stretch of December games. But Chris Boucher is, I don't want to be bad next season. I don't want to build year after year after year of just really, really down years. I'm not saying we have to win the championship next season, but having a core group, having role players that are valuable, integral to your team, going in for season after season. Of course, Chris Boucher has been on the team for such a long time. The remaining piece on that championship winning squad, I'd be happy to see Chris Boucher extended if we can't, get anything valuable for him. Like if we're trading Chris Boucher for like a late second or something, give him a contract extension. I'm cool with that. See what he can do out there for the future. But Boucher looked really good. Of course, Bruce Brown's the main talking point over this team. He has looked very good, very mobile, doing his thing out there on the court. Those are the 2 guys. And the price keeps going up for 2 of these players. They've been playing well as of late. There was no reports, no rumors about any of these guys. There's chatter that Bruce Brown might get bought out, a buyout candidate for the Clippers, for these types of teams. But no. That's not going to be the case. He's been playing too well, and if a team wants to get him, you have to make a trade. I've seen people say extensions for Bruce Brown too. I mean, look, this team is probably going to cash in on some of their expiring contracts. That was the point of bringing them in. We're still, one of the worst teams out there in the NBA standings-wise in terms of everything that's going on. We did jump the Charlotte Hornets, New Orleans Pelicans in the last couple days, in the Tankathon standings, but we're still right there at the bottom. We're 13-32. It's going to be tough, to get back in any semblance of a competitive team for this Raptors group this season. But so it makes sense to cash in on some of the assets. But Masai Ujiri has a lot more leverage now with how well these guys are playing. So that is huge. These types of dudes coming out and performing well. But one guy that does need something addressed, does need some flowers given to him in this game, is the 10-day contract Orlando Robinson, who in this game, 21 minutes and was 2 of 7 from the field. 1 of 3. It took a 3. I didn't, research this guy, but didn't realize there's a 3 in his bag, out there to that extent. But came out, and you might look at the box score, be like, Ben, what are you bringing up his name for, right? 4 points, 6 rebounds. I guess you look at 2 blocks. Maybe the stat line's a little bit better. 3 turnovers, 4 fouls, but. Man, Orlando Robinson had a legitimate impact on this game. The way he anchors that defense, in the back end, as like a backup center, especially if Kelly Olynyk ends up getting traded or he's injured or he's out of the lineup. Orlando Robinson, I know he's on a 10-day. I know, given how we just ran through 10-day contracts at the end of last year, no one gets that excited about these different signings, at least here right now, because, again, you're just taking flyers and young guys. They don't usually work out, but Orlando Robinson seems like a very, very interesting player to have out there in the mix as a rim-protecting big man that can just have an impact. And if he can develop with this team, he's still very young. He has been a rotation player out there in the NBA. He's not just some random G League scrub you have brought in on a 10-day contract. Orlando Robinson can have an impact, and we saw it tonight. He legitimately impacted this game. This isn't fluff. This isn't, down in garbage time. Orlando Robinson's coming out and getting some run. Orlando Robinson had an impact on this game. So, backing up Jakob Poeltl, especially while Kelly Olynyk's out, I wouldn't be shocked he gets another 10-day. I wouldn't be shocked if he actually ends up, getting signed for this team at the end of the season, or maybe he gets thrown with the G League squad until the trade deadline and then gets picked up for the full season, because we'll see how the entire roster ends up shaking out. I know Masai Ujiri wants to maintain that flexibility, everything that's going on at this point. So that was good to see. In terms of the rest of the roster, you saw Davion Mitchell do have a classic Davion Mitchell game. Jakob Poeltl didn't score too much, but didn't really need it. Anchored the defense well, 9 points, 9 boards, 3 assists, 3 steals, 1 block. Great stuff there for Jakob Poeltl. Gradey Dick, not a lot of run, dealt with some foul trouble. He's been in a little bit of a rut as of late. Reports coming out that him and Scottie Barnes are the only 2 untouchable guys out there on the roster. That's how it goes. The young players, especially shooters, they have highs, they have lows. Not too worried about Gradey Dick. Got some run out there at the end group as well. So, that's stuff's happening. Jacoby Walter, I thought, had a solid game in this one as well. Jamal Shead, not the greatest shooting nights, but again, it was a plus 21. 5 points, 3 turnovers, and 1 of 7 from the field. You might be like, oh, Jamal Shead was a brutal tonight. It'd be nice for him to knock down his threes like he has been as of late, but you still get 6 assists from Jamal Shead, and you still get outstanding defense. So, I don't know. I'm feeling good. The price is going up on all of these Toronto Raptors players to, rock out with everything here. Let me know what you guys think about this Raptors group, how things have been going with this team, getting those dubs. Let me know in the comment section down below. You guys best take as far, subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. Anyways, I'm signing out. Cheers.